Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. We're in Manhattan Beach. As you can tell, we're at El Porto, and we're going to be doing a roof repair. Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. We're in Manhattan Beach, California, and we're doing a flat roof repair. Now, we've been doing a lot of repairs lately, which is great. We're happy with them, but there's always a proper way to do anything that you're doing when you're doing a construction trade, and you just got to make sure you don't skip a step in whatever you're doing. Okay? All right. So we're installing a new 7-inch T-top. This is a kitchen vent hood, mostly for stove attic air. That smoke has to go up somewhere through a tube, and it goes out and comes out here. So just like take a look and see what that looks like. So as you can see, the pipe. We got the pipe flashing around the base in order to be able to slip this pipe flashing on smoothly. So now we want to come back with a piece of torch down over the cap in this area at the base, and then come back with a piece of granulated roofing material. So let's get the pieces cut into place, and we'll get back to you in a bit when we're getting ready to do something. You can see these big tankers are right off the coast. They look like Tonka toys. Okay. Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. We're in Manhattan Beach, California, and we're doing a flat roof repair. In this episode, we're replacing an old, rusty 7-inch T-top, and this is for air. Typically, you find them in a kitchen or in a bathroom, over the bathroom or kitchen on a roof. That's where you typically find them, especially on a flat roof. Okay, so we want to install a new flashing. This is the brand new one. As you can tell, this is the same top, but it's really rusted out and the base actually disintegrated. So we're replacing it, and this is our flashing. Let's see what it looks like from the underneath side. It's coming out pretty good. So we had to cut apart the old rusty flashing. As you can see, this is really rusted out. So we had to cut that out. So we already have it all cut out, and we got our flashing here ready to start doing the repair of the installation of the new galvanized T-top pipe flashing, our vent flashing. So it's going to come out pretty good, as you can see. Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. Okay, so now we got everything we need right in front of us. So now let's go cut our piece to size for the smooth. But first, we want to take a brush and brush away all the debris around the area where we're going to be doing the actual torch down. Okay, so now that we got that all swept away, we want to take a measurement and see how much material we need of the smooth to be installed. Okay, so we want to go a little bit above it and a little bit behind it. So we're going to go about 4 foot, cut a little piece about 4 foot to get it into place. Now when we make the cut, we're going to want the end of the torch to butt up against this edge of this cap sheet right here where it overlaps on the other material, so we don't get so much of a big hump. Now there's going to be a little hump because we still have to put the granulated torch down on top of the smooth, but that's okay. So let's cut our piece. We need to install that piece first before we can put the pipe flashing down and get that nailed off. So let's see how we do it. when you're making your cuts, always try to lift your material up a little bit so when you're making the cut, you're not actually cutting into the deck of the flat roof, because that can cause a leak, and that's not very smart. So we just want to be a little bit smarter than the material. I think you can pull it off. So anyways, so now we want to take this and cut it around the perimeter of that hole right there where the flash is. When you're making your cuts, you always want to make sure you have at least an inch or two around the pipe flashing, preferably 2 inches all the way around, so it's not touching anything and the hot pipe can't touch the material. Although this is rubber base, it's not going to burn, it's just going to melt, but still over here. So okay, so now we got a first piece all laid out, so we're getting ready to nail off the pipe flashing. So let's get this cut into size so the seams don't buck, and we're going to cut this material even with a cap sheet line. So let's see how we do it. Okay, that's not bad. We cut that off. Now we want to get this nailed off. Now we want to get our flashing centered on the pipe. It's centered around that pipe. Now we want to take some nails. We got some 1.25" EG nails, or maybe this is 1.5 inches. We're going to use these to pin it down. Remember, whenever you're nailing downhill, you always want to start at the top and then you can push it down. If you start at the bottom and go up, it doesn't always work out with the same principle as starting at the top and nailing down. So we always like to start at the top, like right in the middle, and then fan out and come down on the flashing to make it easier to get it nailed off. Okay, so let's check it out, see how we get this nailed off. You probably need at least 12 nails, or 3, maybe a couple more. So let's see how it looks when we're done. So then we just want to keep nailing it off now that we got it pinned into the back and down the sides. Okay, so we got that all nailed off. That's not going nowhere. That's nailed on pretty tight. Okay, great. So now that we got that all nailed off, now we can get the piece of smooth torch down rubber modified roofing material heated up and kind of welded into the deck going around the perimeter. And then after we're done with that, we'll be ready to start some torch. Okay, so let's get to that. Let's get my gloves on and get ready to go, and we'll catch up to you in a bit. Hey, welcome back to that roof. All right, so here's a bucket of water in case fire starts. And got our approved fire extinguisher. So, okay, you always got to be careful and be cautious when you're doing something and make sure you have. Hey, welcome back to That Roof. Okay, so now that we got all the prep work done, we got the pipe, we got the rusted pipe flashing cut down, the smooth laid on top of the repair area, and the galvanized pipe flashing all nailed in, snug and tight. Now we want to heat up the smooth torch down material and melt it into the deck. Remember, we're not using any other nails on this other than the nails we needed to hold down the pipe flashing. So, we're working with a torch, so keep in mind this is very dangerous. You don't want to do this at home. Hire a professional, make sure they have the proper insurance to do whatever to make sure they're safe. We got all the access, we got this gauging trowel cleaned up. Now we want to come back and start melting this in and start heating it up. Okay, so now that we got that all heated up, now we want to come back with a torch down material, get it cut into place, make sure it's going to fit. And then when we're done with cutting the torch into place, then we got to come back and spread tar all the way around the pipe flashing as an extra sealant on top of the nails and everything else, so we know the torch is going to stick. So typically on that you can use asphalt primer, but we're choosing use the actual tar itself to stick onto it instead. I think it'll be a better seal and it's going to work out great. So let's get everything cut into place, So we'll catch up to you in a bit when we get ready to get that pieced in. Hey, welcome back to Cover That Roof. Okay, so we're going to show you how we're going to get this cut in. There's a lot of different ways to cut this in. I think this is the easiest way, so I'm just going to show you this way. And then check it out. So that worked out pretty good. A little bit more work than I thought it was going to be, but we got it all cut out. Fits pretty nice. Now we just want to kind of do the same process. We want to heat it up the same way that we did the smooth. Heat it up and get it melted in. So let's get it cut into place a little bit more. We'll catch up to you in a bit. Okay, now that we got the flashing all cleaned up, got the smooth installed first on the base, and then the 7-inch T-top on top. Now we need to spread tar around the perimeter of the 7-inch pipe flashing, so we know that the torch material is going to stick on it. So let's see how we do it. So we're going to take some of the smooth material, because that's the best, and melt off the material piece to go onto that. Okay, now we got that in, we need to let that dry for a bit, and then we'll come back and lay our granulated piece of torch in place and then get ready to get that torched in. Okay, so we're gonna catch up to you in a bit when we get that done. Okay, so that worked out pretty nice. We got everything cut into place, so now we're getting ready to heat it down. So now, since it's just cut in certain places, we're actually able to fold it in different areas to make it a little bit easier on us. Okay, so we got that all torched in. God, it's hot. Started off really cold today, but when you're working with that torch, it gets really, really hot. So anyways, so that's how you install a T-top. That's how you install a kitchen oven T-top roof vent to air out all the air from where you're cooking in your kitchen. I hope you enjoyed our episode on how to install a kitchen T-top oven vent. This is so all the smoke inside can travel up through the attic space and out above the roof line into the air to get rid of all that hot air and smoke that's in your kitchen while you're cooking. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's pretty basic, so remember, we had to take out the old rusty pipe flashing, install a new one, install the smooth first and then the pipe flashing, then bleed the tar back on top of the galvanized pipe flashing, and then install the granulated torch down back on top of the smooth. So it worked out pretty awesome. Hope you enjoyed this episode of how to install an oven vent for a roof, and look for us on our next upcoming episodes to Cover That Roof. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like it, hit like and hit subscribe. Leave a comment. We'd appreciate any tips or tricks that you got for us. We'd be more than happy to hear about it. So till next time, see you next time on Cover That Roof from Manhattan Beach. We're out. Over and out. Did a great job here. Look forward to seeing you again. See you in a bit.